followed him cross-country.
Well, how about having to call your boss over that one?
Yeah, that's not good.
CSI fans know the original series is set in Las Vegas, but few know about the city's real-life crime lab that's helping solve crimes across the country. It's someplace you'd never expect. CBS 2's Dave Malkoff takes us inside CSI Target.
Tucked beyond the wobbly wheel pathways, something's hiding inside a Target store.
You know, we prefer not to publicize where we're located.
Far behind the electronics department, there's another high-tech section. This fully functional crime lab is not only attached to the store, it's run by Target.
Private companies have been getting evidence into court for many years, but as a lab system, we really started this in 2003.
At first, they were simply trying to catch shoplifters. That's why they have a latent fingerprint lab.
The whole point here is to first make fingerprints visible, then use the expertise of Andrew.
And if you could hand me that...
That's Andrew Schriever, formerly a fingerprint expert with Oklahoma's State Bureau of Investigation. Now, he works at Target.
This is called non-porous type of evidence, and it's stuff that if you put water on it, it wouldn't soak in.
Today, the Target Crime Lab is more advanced than some actual law enforcement agencies.
We use our latent fingerprints in a little bit different way than law enforcement does.
Since discount store employees can't tap into AFIS, the National Fingerprint Database.
And this is an imager that can collect that light and amplify it to where we can see it with the naked eye.
Target mostly compares one store's crime to another's.
You can't tell that there are footprints on there, but more likely than not there are.
Sometimes tracking down the invisible tracks. Turn off the lights and the footprints start to glow.
When we can see that there's actually quite a few footwear impressions on this floor in the dust, you can see a good partial footwear impression right here.
Footprints helped in a case where someone tried to kick open the case of iPods.
This is the footwear impression that we were able to photograph off of that showcase door.
From there, Target hopes police will search the suspect's home for those shoes.
They could submit that to the lab and we could compare the shoe against the impression from the door and possibly make an identification.
I was a police detective, worked major cases, did crime scenes.
And now Casey Caudill also works for Target, comparing security videos.
It's kind of like with the footwear and with fingerprints. Those are unique characteristics.
Here's one example. This one happened inside a store.
This person here is trying to break into the iPod case.
Then this from a Colorado Target.
On the pair of pants, you can see a light area of contrast.
And days later in Illinois,
a guy with a similar haircut, we have unique characteristics. The light area of contrast here at the bottom of the pocket, the dark area of contrast on the left arm. You know, they kind of look the same.
What Casey does is normally police work. In fact, some swamp police departments go to Target for help.
Law enforcement is very busy. There's not enough folks and resources to go around.
It all looks really neat, but imagine this very serious scenario. You're here in the jury box. There's a case in front of you that will decide a man's freedom. And that case hinges largely on the physical evidence that's in front of you and the judge. That evidence has been handled, processed, and analyzed not by a law enforcement agency, but by the crime lab here in Target, basically the security department. How does that stand up in court?
Everything that happens to that evidence has to be documented, and the examination itself, of course, has to be scientifically valid, the results reproducible. That's the same standard that anybody that brings evidence to the court needs to meet, whether it's us or law enforcement.
And it has stood up in court, even for this Minnesota murder case, and this murder that made its way through the British courts. You see, 30% of the work done here is done for law enforcement. And it may be the only thing you can find at this Target store for free. The company does it no charge and calls it a community service.
That's really why we do what we do.
Target says they've helped over 100 law enforcement agencies across the globe. This could be the beginning of the era of the private crime lab. Inside a Target somewhere in Las Vegas, I'm Dave Malkoff, CBS 2 News.
Note to Johnny Mountain, no shoplifting at Target Las Vegas.
I love the Bond music. You bring it up, everything sounds cool.
It does, absolutely. Speaking of Mr. Mountain, let's check in with him right now. Big holiday.
Big holiday coming up. You know, we're in Santa Monica right now, and we're getting some cool temperatures out there. As a matter of fact, we'll get down to freezing in a lot of areas. That